So today I'm going to do my best to put this 2-inch leveling kit from Rough Country in the front of this here sweet 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Oh, by the way, I'm Dave. Welcome to Hammered Ironworks. This right here is going to be my new everyday driver. As you can tell, it's not really brand new. Well, first, it's not 2014, and I mean, it's been previously enjoyed, as you can see here. Previous owner thought it was like some sort of a ditch banging vehicle, so that's what he did with it, or she, I don't even know. But anyway, it's mine now, so I've got to like tune it up the way I want it. So I like some of this damage right here because it tells somebody that, hey, shouldn't mess with this vehicle because they really don't know how to drive. And people will stay away from me. I like that.
So I know you guys are thinking, hey Dave, what about the man sedan? How can you get a different ride? Well, I'm a reverend and I'm very holy. I just can't really have a vehicle that's as holy as I am.
So let's get right down into this. This vehicle is way too far off level and I want to level it out. So I'm going to bring the front end up about, well, they say 2 inches. It'll probably be 1.5 inches. I don't know. We'll take some measurements and we'll see if we can get it done and make this thing look right. So I was telling you, this thing is way off level. All right, so we're showing right around, what, 37 to the bottom of that little fender lip molding in the back. And then we are showing, roughly 34 3/4 to the fender lip in the front, kind of going through the center of the wheel. Now that's after I lowered it down off the lift and jounced the suspension. So it might settle out a little bit more if I actually drove it. So this right here is the kit that I got, Rough Country. We got some spacers that obviously they don't measure up to 2 full inches, but because of math and geometry and fulcrum points, all that stuff, it should come out to roughly that. We're gonna find out. Directions. Yeah, we'll probably, we'll figure it out. There's your part numbers right there and stuff. Aww. So basically I'm gonna like undo this upper ball joint, take the caliper off, axle nut off, poke the axle back through. Eventually I've got to get the strut out of here so I can put that spacer on top. So I've got the knuckle laid back, pop the upper ball joint right here, the axle's laying out. I'm actually during this job replacing this front half shaft right here, but you don't really care much about that. So anyway, now I'm hoping to go up top and take the nuts off and somehow wiggle this strut down and out of here. I may have to undo this sway bar link and this tie rod end, but I'm gonna put that off until I absolutely have to. Gotta catch it. Got it. So me needing to take this half shaft out is going to work out pretty good. I'm going to try to pry down on the control arm with a big pry bar and then get this strut and this little pitchfork, tuning fork thing up off that lower control arm. Boom. So as far as putting these on top of the struts, what you have to do because of the distance that's actually right in here, you've got to cut off the length of some of these factory studs that come up through the strut plate. So the previous owner already put spacers on the springs, so I already have a little bit of a higher spring tension on it, which probably brings the front end up probably 1 inch already from stock. So I'm going to add a little bit more to it because that seems like the right thing to do. Anyway, I'll cut these off so I can get those nuts to fit inside of this cavity. And put her on there, stuff it in, you'll see. So having cut those with the nuts on here, when I take these nuts off, it will clean up my threads. So you gotta tighten these all up with a wrench because that's how you get the access. And then we'll stuff it back up in there. So back in we go with my new half shaft or axle shaft, and I'll try to get that slid up in there. Okay, we gotta put it the right way. 2 bolts to the front. Yep, thanks. And now we tighten up these nuts up here. So now I gotta get this bolt to go through my lower control arm and my little strut pitchfork, tuning fork, whatever it's called, fork. So because of poor planning and questionable decisions, I had to completely undo my ABS sensor because I routed it the wrong way around that. Yep. So I got the other side done, put it together, went together pretty good. A little bit of fighting, but not too bad. Now I'm gonna do the same to this side. Then we'll put it on the ground, see if there's any gains. I don't know. Got enough power. Heat. Okay. Cheater bar and extension. This could be a sign that I don't really want the outcome of this project from above, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. That'll be fine. I got my fan on over there. We gotta air out the shop. Woo, she's pretty smoky. Same thing on this side. I'm gonna cut these off so they're the right length, and then that little tower can go on top, and then we'll put it together, see what it looks like. Don't forget the Harley glue. Sway bar length. Rotor. Caliper. Wheel speed sensor wire. And the tire. And tighten up the nuts on the upper strut plate. So this is after lowering it down. I didn't rock the suspension. I didn't roll it back and forth. But we're showing about 36 inches now, where I think before we had like 34 3/4. Of course it will level out a little bit once I take and move it around. It's a little bit taller now. So all in all, I'm happy with the outcome. It's leveled out pretty good. The front end, it came up about 1 3/8 inches, not quite a full 2 inches, but I think it's because the spring spacers that were already in the front, I think it changed the dynamic a little bit. But all in all, this is good enough for the vehicle that I need to drive every day. Remember, stay cheap, cheesy, and crafty. See you in the next episode. And don't worry, I'll align it and torque everything, blah, blah.